the tram car, please.
My name is John Gigliotti. I've been with the tram cars for 32 years, and I enjoy it very much, and I'll never quit. I'll work till I can't work anymore. When I was a young guy, all the guys in the Army, they called me Gig, and they used to say, we're going to call you Gig like Gig Young. It was an actor, see? So that's where I got that name, and that name stayed with me all the way through. I worked for Conrail, and I was a roadman. We worked, trains over the road to Jersey City, Allentown, Iron Ore up to Bethlehem Steel, Tamaqua, Pottsville, Shamokin. I was all up in that area. 40 years I had, 52 to 92. I retired from the railroad in 1992. I was at home about 2 weeks, and my wife said to me, retirement isn't for you. I walked around the yard going crazy. She could see I was fidgety, and she said, how about those little yellow cars that go up and down the boardwalk? We already had a home down here, so that was no problem. I had a summer home. She called up the owner, and the owner was a woman by the name of Irene. And she told Irene my background of the railroad and so forth. And she said to her, you won't be sorry if you hire my husband. So she said, send him down. So I came down, filled out an application. I drove the tram cars for 1 year. And then she gave me the job that I still have today, safety supervisor. The most challenging thing is when you got thousands of people on that boardwalk, some are on the phone, some are talking, some don't pay attention, and it gets very tedious because you got to play that voice all the time. Watch the tram car, please. Constantly. It's the only defense you have in order not to hit somebody. But it still happens once in a while. They get brushed by their arm, or somebody's too close. The side of the tram might hit them. Things like that.
Watch the tram car, please.
I never get tired of hearing, watch the tram car, please. Never. The lady who made the voice is a good friend of mine. She's 84 years old. Her name is Floss Stengel, and we take a lot of pictures together. She lives 2 blocks off the boardwalk, and she hears that all night long. And she never gets tired of it either. Mr. Ramagosa, the gentleman who bought these from the New York World's Fair in 1939, he had a gentleman working in the garage, and he wanted somebody to make the voice. So he asked this fella, and he recommended his girlfriend, Floss. She was about 21, 22 years old, and she never got a penny for it. She just did it as a courtesy. Floss and I took the first ride on the runaway tram with Bill Morey, Jack Morey, and his family. The reason why it's called the runaway tram is you get on, you go all the way around. When you come in for a landing, it takes off again. And that's why it's called the runaway tram. A lot of people can't take them fast rides, and I'm one of them. And I never went on since. In one of these piers, there's a boat ride. You get on the boat, you go around, and the light pops up, and it's a picture of me. Now, I never seen it, but people tell me that it exists. This fellow working right here, he don't want to be involved in nothing, but he's the key, right there. I can't explain just how much he knows, because I've been with him for 32 years. He's here before me. He takes the batteries out and puts new batteries in. He takes the motor out, put a new motor in. He can do anything to them. He's the key. Rick goes on the computer and he'll look for parts. He had a good connection for a lot of parts. Evidently, it's petering out because he often tells me he can't get those parts no more. These might last another 3-4 years. If Rick can keep them going, but in the making, they're talking about getting all new trams. But I don't think you'll ever find trams that'll work like these work. These are animals. I've seen these things perform night after night in the busiest season of the year. Crowded, loaded. People can't get on, and they pull. And I want to tell you, they have to look hard to replace this kind of equipment. This is the button that makes it go. Right now it's in neutral. See, it won't move. You push it forward. Hit. See, this is the brake, and this is the throttle to make it go. When you start out slow. When you get about 15, 20 feet, then you go all the way. This,
Watch the tram car, please.
that's the button to watch the tram car. See?
Please. Watch the tram car, please.
These are the headlights. And if this doesn't work, we use that. And when the conductor rings the bell, that gives a signal to the driver to stop. Somebody wants to get on or somebody wants to get off. Here's the battery. See, it's full. I look at it, and if it's all the way down there in the white, then I'll put it in the garage.
Watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car, please.
The Sunny one, they bought him from an army place in Virginia. People out there say, when is Sunny coming out? When is Sunny coming out? And you know what? Everybody enjoys driving Sunny because you're up high and you're right there. You know what I mean? Where this has the hood, Sunny, you can look down and see the track you're running.
Watch the tram car, please.
We used to have races. You ever hear of Cozy Morley? He was an entertainer. Al Alberts, they were both entertainers. Well, we used to have races, and they paid $5 to ride the tram, and it went to their charity. Well, we used to go up 16th Street and race down to 23rd. And I'd give Al Alberts the fastest engine. And he won every time. So Al Palumbo was the mayor. And he presented the trophy. And now I feel bad because Cozy Morley came to me and he says, real humble. He said, Gig, how come I never win? I said, Al Alberts is more of an experienced driver than you. But Al Alberts had the fastest engine. We had races with the three mayors, North Wildwood, and Wildwood Crest. Somebody came to me, I'm not going to say who, they said, make sure the mayor of North Wildwood wins. So then I rigged that up. I enjoy coming to work every day. What would I do home all day long? I have no hobbies. I never smoked, drank, gambled, never did nothing. Never played golf, never bowled. The only hobby I have is work. I work 6 and 7 days a week on the railroad. I work 7 days a week here, 15, 16 hours a day for all the time that I was here. And I still do it. But I take a nap in the afternoon for about an hour, and it gets me through the night. I enjoy my colleagues that I work with. We have a lot of fun together. We tease each other a little bit. I know scores and scores of people over the years that come back every year. And if they don't see me, they'll stop the tram and say, is Giggy still here? So that means a lot to me. There's a little frustration to this job too, but you have to know how to handle it. When people get mad or they're disgruntled about something, I talk to them very nice, and I'll say, listen, here's a couple of free tickets. How long are you here? A week? Here's 4 or 5 tickets. Take a nice ride and enjoy the ride. Complimentary of Giggy. See? That goes a long way.
Watch the tram car, please.